be a new project for me on Minecraft. So I've got this new idea. Well, it kind of dawned on me at work today, and my dad mentioned something to me, and then it kind of made me think of it, and then I thought, why have I not ever tried to build it in Minecraft? And I'm gonna give it a go. It might not work. There's a lot of like hills and bends and things like that in what I'm gonna be doing, and it might be hard to build some of the buildings on the hills, but I think potentially it's going to be quite a cool thing to do. It's going to be a pretty big project, even though we're not going to do the whole entire thing. Well, we might, depending on if the first bit goes alright, which is still probably going to take months as it is, and I'm still going to be working on the other map, so it's not going to be a constant sort of like just working on this now and forget the other map, because the other map's still a pretty awesome map. But anyway, what I would like to do is build the whole entire Isles of Man TT racetrack. Now you might think that you might think that this is nuts. Like, why how would that work? How would that work, kind of thing? Well, that's why I'm going to test it out. I'm going to build a bit of it, and if it gets a bit complicated, like to the point where it's going to be quite hard to do in Minecraft, then I'm going to not carry it on. But if it's alright, easy to do, I'm going to just build the racetrack. So I'm not going to build the whole entire island. I mean, you think of the whole entire island it's small in real, but to implement that into Minecraft with all the like seafront, that's going to take a while to do. What I want to do is just build the whole entire Isles of Man TT course, just the course. Now, bearing in mind the course itself is set on a main road, so there's a lot of like buildings to build. There's like local shops, there's pubs to do, there's bends, there's little bridges. Then when you get up onto the mountain course itself, there's actually like the whole entire mountains to put into this new map, and then there's the like electric train what goes up to it. But the course does kind of end like there's kind of like little side streets what get barriered off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a little bit up of them streets, just a teeny bit, just so like when you look up there is something to see. And then when you look down, there's obviously you can look down onto the race course. And we're gonna hopefully give this new map a little try. So I will invite people if they want inviting, such as the person who's commented. But it's gonna be me looking at Google Maps a lot, and me testing from my sort of like memory of what I know about the island and the race course itself. And like I say, I'm still going to be working on the other city map, don't worry. I might just not work on that as much if this goes to like if this goes to an alright, if this new project works out. Then I might do a little something along the lines of work on this a little bit more, just go back on the city now and again, because the city's got to a pretty decent size, but I can still picture me going on that quite a bit. And I know exactly where I want to put the map info. I'm going to do it at the start line of the TT course, because that's obviously the most like sort of like, I guess you could it's sort of like something what sounds sort of more okay to do. It's like the start of the course, the start of the map. Then I'll get like the people who's helped and that stuff. That's if people do help. I've been over to the island, I know exactly what I'm looking at, and I'll be looking at Google Maps to like sort of get the race course, follow the racetrack. So the racetrack itself is about 34.2 miles long in real life, and if you before we start this little light project build, I've got to load up my laptop, but I'll just give you a little bit of history about the island. Now, probably in these streams I'm going to rant on a bit about the island because it's such an amazing place, and obviously I've been there. But if you don't know what the Isles of Man TT is, Isles of Man is a little island between UK and Ireland, out in the Irish Sea. It's like a miniature island. You can get a boat there. You can get one from Liverpool, one from Ayrsham from the Steam Packet Company, one's called the Manaham, and the other one's called the Ben McCree. And if you go on the Manaham, I think it is a bit of a longer journey, but the boat goes faster. If you go from Ayrsham, it's a bit of a shorter journey, but the boat's not as quick, so just bear that in mind. Like, you can champ on if you go from Liverpool. And every year they host 2 race events. One's called the TT, the other one's called the Manx Grand Prix. The TT is all the modern motorbikes what race round in sort of June time, and then in August you get the classic TT, which is all these sort of like olden day bikes, the old style bikes from the 60s, and they do like races and parade laps and stuff like that, and they race around this racetrack which is totally like closed off from public road. So basically, like in normal time, like if you were to go over there exactly now, what is the race course now would actually be used as a public road. There'd be people driving home from work, people driving to and from houses, going to shops, that kind of thing, but they close it off twice a year. Well, they basically open it and close it, if you get what I mean. So when there's a race, they'll close it, like say if it's like practice, then they'll close the race course at night. And then if it's something like race day, then the course will be closed for most of the day, but it'll open back up at night. And if it's race day, the race day is every other day of that week, so it's 1 week. So for example, there could be racing on maybe like Monday, but then not Tuesday, and then there'll be like some bikes racing on Wednesday, but not Thursday, and then there'd maybe be some racing on Friday. So we're going to go to Google Maps because I'm going to copy like the course from here. Now this is only a test. Hi Electronic Monkey as well. This is only a test. This isn't exactly like, this isn't sort of like something that's going to be necessarily easy. If it doesn't work out, I will be scrapping the idea, because I'm not sort of like familiar with doing a lot of hills and terraforming. I'm used to like doing straight roads, but I reckon that we might get it somewhere looking pretty nice. I reckon that we could be somewhere pretty good, in my opinion. Definitely go somewhere alright and get things going, you know. So yeah, that should be the way it goes. So I'm gonna like load up Google Maps in just a moment when my laptop gets into gear, and we're gonna start this project. So I've done grey for the roads because grey in the UK is sort of like essential for the road, and I've used a lot of things like coal and things on my last world. So we're gonna literally just go to maps, and then we're gonna go over to the start line of the course. If Ant wants to join, I'll invite him. But like I say, this is just going to be a little miniature project alongside of what I'm doing at the moment, which is obviously the main Los Ashleys. So yep, there's Isles of Man right there, one of my favourite places to go. So let's zoom in on her. Let's zoom right in. So I'm not like, I think I have an idea where the start line is. I have an idea. We need to just switch it from map to Earth, and then we should be pretty good. Should be pretty good to go. So if we can just go ahead and change that to Earth, then we'll get all the sort of like bird's eye view of the streets, and then we'll be sort of good to go. So if the track goes alright, and if I'm pretty happy with the track, and if I'm pretty sure that I could be sort of maybe like I don't know what you would say, but like say if like the track goes alright and I feel like I would like to do a bit more of the island, then I might do a little bit more of Douglas and some of the other surrounding areas around the sort of like, you know, island itself. But for now, I'm just going to more or less focus on the sort of like actual racetrack itself, and then we'll see how it goes from there. So it's all good. We just need to scroll ourselves down to the start line. So there's the National Sports Centre. Never really clapped eyes on that. There's Peel Road. I know where Peel Road is. So the start. So there's the seafront. There's where you come off the boat. So there's Villa Marina. So there's Villa Marina. And then I think we go up this way. So I think the start line is along here, but I'm not like completely certain. We'll have to sort of like just get my I'll have to sort of like just get my wits about.
Yeah, they'll all become bum buddies now.
Is this where we want to be? I tell you what, I'll go to here on the street view, and then I'll see where we are.
You do it.
Alright, I know exactly where we are now, where I've just put myself. That's the takeaway where we stay. So I've literally just spawned in on Google Maps where I've put the character guy, whatever you want to call him, the little orange man. I've literally like spawned him right near where we stay, which is good because it's right near the road where we actually go up if we're actually driving to the start line of the course itself. So that's pretty cool that we're able to do that. So I know my way there now. I just didn't before. From the overview it looked a bit different, so we need to just, we need to head up here. There we go, up there. There's a news agent's just up here. Now which way was it? Was it up here? Or was it up here? Up here.
Have a look at it, I'll tell you.
It's up here, look.
Might be Genesis.
Apart from my car, that's it. There's that news agents. Because I remember, like, not this year, but the year before, we called here to get a paper. So I always know that this is the right way.
Rachel Stevenson and there's a druggie.
Oh my god, the image capture date's from 2010. Yeah. Weird. So now you come right out when you get to the top of here. You come right out at the top of Braille. So this is exactly it. Like some of these streets which lead off of the course, like from when it's like normal road opening times. We're not going to be able to do all like totally the way down. But what I will do is I will actually do I will like do a little bit of it. So we're coming up to the start line, which is pretty nice. It's exactly where I want it to be. We're just like calling up now. So I'm gonna start this just behind the start line, like exactly where we're gonna be. Where you would like, not like exactly totally where you would start, just behind it. So if I just wait for this to load, we're almost here now. We can almost start the building, guys. And like I say, this is just going to be a test. Yeah? Oh, great. Alright, well, I'm going to have to end the stream in a minute because my tea's ready. But I'll probably make a start on this just after my tea, and then I might stream it again a little bit later. But I'm just going to go to the other side of the pits. Just letting it load. So I'm going to end off the stream. This was just a sort of like, a little like building idea that I had in my head. Alright, we don't need to go here. Alright, so I think I'm going to start with this. This sounds like the most obvious thing to do. So if you did enjoy it, please hit the like button, please subscribe. We shall see you in the next stream. I am just going to do something quickly though before I forget. So that'll come out about there. So that's going to go like that, isn't it? And then there's going to be like a little gap of grey. And then there's going to be a little miniature brick wall, which is actually going to run down there. So there we go. And then there's like a little gap, and then there's like a white wall. I think this is like the old scrutineering, like years ago, loads of bikes parked in here. We'll build some bikes along the course as well, don't worry about that. So there we go. Alright, we'll see you in the next stream.